Four teams showed up to Las Vegas ready to race and left the garage already fighting a battle they never expected. On the 14th of March 2026, NASCAR held its standard pre-race technical inspection at Las Vegas Motor Speedway ahead of the Pennzoil 400. This is something that happens before every single race. Officials go through every car very carefully, checking that everything is built exactly according to the rulebook. Most teams pass without any serious problems. But on this day, four teams failed inspection not once, but twice, and NASCAR came down on them hard. The four teams penalized were the number 2 of Austin Cindric from Team Penske, the number 10 of Ty Dillon from Cowlig Racing, the number 16 of AJ Allmendinger, also from Cowlig Racing, and the number 24 of William Byron from Hendrick Motorsports. 4 cars, 3 organizations, 2 inspection failures each. Under the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series rulebook, failing inspection twice triggers automatic consequences. The car chief gets ejected from the track completely, and the team loses its pit stall selection for the race. So that is exactly what happened. Eric Bailey from the number 2 team, Troy Lankford Jr. from the number 10 team, Jaron Antley from the number 16 team, and Jacob Bowman from the number 24 team were all told to pack up and leave, gone before a single lap was run. And here is something important to understand about just how serious this punishment is. Under the 2026 rulebook, 2 failures triggers the ejection and the pit stall loss. But had any of these teams failed a third time, the punishment would have been even worse. A third failure means the team is barred from qualifying entirely and is forced to serve a pass-through penalty at the very start of the race. 2 failures was already damaging. 3 would have been a complete disaster. These teams stopped at 2, but the damage was already done. Now, to really understand why losing your car chief hurts so much, you need to know what that person actually does on race day. The car chief is essentially the head of the garage operation. They know every single detail about how the car is built and set up. They are the direct link between the crew chief, who handles the big picture strategy, and the rest of the pit crew handling the physical work on the car. The car chief makes last-minute mechanical adjustments. They catch small problems before they become big ones. They keep communication flowing smoothly when everything is moving fast and the pressure is high. When the car chief is removed, the crew chief suddenly has to carry 2 jobs at once. Instead of focusing entirely on race strategy, watching pit timing, managing tire choices, planning for track position, the crew chief now has to step away from that big picture and handle the hands-on mechanical side of things too. That split in focus costs the team in ways that do not always show up in the data, but absolutely show up in performance. For William Byron's crew chief, Rudy Fugle, that is exactly the extra weight he had to carry all race long. The fact that his team still managed to finish 3rd under those conditions speaks volumes about the depth of the Hendrick Motorsports organization. But losing the car chief was only half of the punishment. The pit stall situation made everything even harder. At Las Vegas Motor Speedway, pit road strategy is one of the most important parts of winning. The track runs at very high speeds, and green flag pit stops happen regularly throughout the race. Where your pit stall is located directly affects how fast your crew can get you in and out during those stops. A good stall means smooth exits and clean track position. A bad stall means losing extra seconds every single time you come in, and over a 267-lap race, those seconds stack up into positions, and positions stack up into points. Because all 4 penalized teams lost their pit selection rights, they were forced to choose from the final 4 remaining stalls after every other team in the 36-car field had already made their picks. The absolute last 4 stalls available, the ones nobody else wanted, that is not just a minor inconvenience. At a track like Las Vegas, where the difference between winning and finishing outside the top 10 can come down to a few seconds on pit road, being stuck with the worst stalls on the property is a serious competitive setback before the race even begins. The damage showed up immediately during practice and qualifying, and of the 4 penalized drivers, Ty Dillon had it the worst by a significant margin. The inspection failures were so disruptive to the number 10 team that Dillon was completely unable to complete a single lap during the practice session. 0 laps. His very first competitive laps of the entire Las Vegas weekend came during qualifying. In the next-gen era, that is about as bad as it gets. Teams use advanced computer simulations to build their setups before arriving at the track, but that 20-minute real-world practice window is absolutely critical. It is when teams take everything the simulator told them and verify it against what the actual car does on the actual track. Temperatures, grip levels, how the car reacts under braking, none of that can be fully replicated on a computer. Missing that practice window entirely means going into qualifying and then a 267-lap race completely blind, with no real-world data to fall back on. For Ty Dillon and the number 10 team, that missing practice time was essentially a death sentence for their competitiveness all weekend long. Qualifying confirmed everything. Ty Dillon started from dead last P36. AJ Allmendinger qualified P26. Austin Cindric qualified P28. 3 of the 4 penalized drivers were buried deep in the field before the race even started. William Byron was the one exception, somehow qualifying inside the top 10 from P9, which, under the circumstances, was a genuinely impressive result from the number 24 Hendrick Motorsports team. Then came the race itself, and the results told 4 very different stories. William Byron was the clear standout among the penalized group. Starting from P9 with no car chief, a compromised garage operation, and one of the worst pit stalls in the field, Byron ran a remarkable race. He won Stage 2 outright and went on to finish 3rd, on the lead lap, competing directly with the best cars all afternoon. His crew chief, Rudy Fugel, managed the entire operation while carrying double the normal workload, and together they delivered a result that keeps Byron firmly in the championship picture. It was the kind of performance that reminds everyone why Hendrick Motorsports remains one of the most respected organizations in the sport. Austin Cindric showed real determination from his P28 starting position. He gained 12 spots across the race to finish 19th, which on paper looks like a decent recovery. But the number 2 Team Penske Ford never found the pace to break into the top 10. For Cowlig Racing, the day was genuinely painful to watch. AJ Allmendinger finished 24th, 1 lap down. Ty Dillon finished 31st, 2 full laps down. The broader message from NASCAR this weekend was loud and clear. 3 major organizations, Hendrick Motorsports, Team Penske, and Cowlig Racing, all got hit on the same inspection day at the same track. No team is too big, too powerful, or too well-funded to escape the rulebook. In 2026, NASCAR is watching every detail of the next-gen car with zero patience for violations. Follow the rules exactly or face the consequences on race day.